seen some of the choices, so I feel like.
Okay, we are live. Oh. Here we go. I think that got put it back here. There, we're all in. Okay. Do we want to go ahead and get started? I can act as proxy if you want.
May as well.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody's here except Carmen. She's running a tad late. Citizen concerns. No citizens present. Approval of the minutes from the previous, from October. So we'll receive those, and I'll make a motion to approve October's meeting minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You want to give us the trustees report, Amy?
Sure. 19 households have received assistance in September.
Nope.
October, sorry. I didn't make the agenda this time, Carmen did. So 19 households got help. Again, mostly just CenterPoint. A few here and there with rent, but really it's just been CenterPoint. And that number just seems like the last, 3 months. August was 17, September was 18, October's been 19, but it just keeps going up a little bit. We have been really, really pushing people to go to the Energy Assistance Program with TRICAP and to apply with them. We've even got applications here. We can help people fill out applications and things, which we're doing next week. So, just if you know anybody that needs help too, especially with the Energy Assistance Program or something, you can send them our way too, because we'll help them. We even have a computer here that they could use if they want to fill it out online or print stuff out. We don't mind doing that for our constituents, that's for sure. Make sure people get the help that they need. Of course, we have been utilizing other organizations like St. Vincent de Paul and stuff too, and sending them that way and stuff. And we've all been partnering together to try and help. Everybody gives a little so that we can get it all done if we all give a little. So, and then it helps kind of not make the burden so much on just one area too. So, but that's pretty much how things are going.
Nicely done.
It'll probably climb some more too
Yeah.
during the winter months.
Yeah, I would imagine if they do have to get on the Energy Assistance Program though, CenterPoint can't turn them off until March 15th. If they even get just one payment from the Energy Assistance Program, then CenterPoint has a memorandum that they can't turn them off until after March 15th. So even if they're behind, even if that one payment that the Energy Assistance Program makes is only $200, then they're automatically on that program and they can't get turned off. And then they can make little payments every week or every month or whatever and try to get caught up, and stuff until then. It kind of buys everybody some more time.
Right. Cemetery report.
We haven't gotten any bids for next year yet, so we'll probably reach out to Travis, who's currently doing ours, to let him know he's got to get that bid in. I don't know if Bruner was going to put in another bid or not.
He usually does every year.
Yeah.
So.
But everything's, the same. There's been no complaints. There's been no trees or anything lately, no branches, just the normal mowing and cleaning up the leaves and things.
Very good. Fire territory.
I actually went to this meeting this time because Carmen wanted me to go. They did put in a bid for I thought she had a copy of that. She may not. They did approve for them to get a new ladder truck. I thought she had something for that, maybe not. Because Stephen did give a report, of course, how things were going. They had 155 calls this last month. And then I think the council or the city council had already approved too for the $2.3 million ladder truck, so. And then what they'll do with the old ladder truck is they take it and they, I guess, sell it kind of part by part and recycle it and stuff, so they'll make a little bit of money back on that as well. And then they also surplus the old tanker truck. So they're gonna open it up for bids with a $5,000 reserve, so. But it's gonna go to like a racetrack or something like that, cause
Right.
you can't use it for fire anymore, it's too dangerous.
Okay, it's just too old.
Yeah, there's a real, I didn't know this, but I was talking to one of the firemen down there, and he said most accidents or fatalities that happen on a run happen on the tanker truck, because on the old ones, when the water's, if you take a turn too fast and the water sloshes, it makes it just
They don't have
overturns and
They don't
everything.
have baffles, do they?
Yeah, and so he said it's really, so the truck they, that they're replaced or whatever, that old truck, they can't, it wouldn't be safe to have it in use with another fire department, cause it's too dangerous.
So how big's their current ladder truck? It's like,
Yeah.
just curious, a 100-foot ladder truck seems.
It seems excessive.
I wanna say the one they have now, I thought was 50 or 75, I think. But we can ask,
Yeah.
for sure. And it's gonna
I mean,
take
this
4
king
years,
does
it's gonna be 4
complaining
years before they
Because they weren't
even
gonna
get
have
it.
enough money, and then now they're spending $2.5 million.
That's,
And,
we're
and
up
that
to-
number is not, it could go up by the time 4 years gets here.
Right.
Because that number is not, from what I understood, it's not locked in. So you may be purchasing at that price at that time, but it's subject to tariffs and any other things that would make it go up. By the time you get to 4 years and after it's built, it could be, it's gonna be more than that. I mean, everything's gonna go up, so
Right.
it's gonna be more than that, for sure.
How much are they getting in grants?
I do not know that either.
Okay, I'm just, someone I assume
Gives
is
them 4
helping
years
pay
to
that.
gives them 4 years to get grants too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does give them 4 years to get, and I think it's actually a little over 4 years, cause it's 1,500 days, I think, is what Steven said. Which is a little more than 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shoot.
takes a long time to build them things.
I never guessed it took that long.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I don't know how big the demand is for fire trucks, but
And maybe that's it, maybe they only build them for,
To order.
to order, so then by the time they get all the parts and everything in and the things for it, maybe that's why it takes so long. I have no idea. Steven would be a good guy to ask that, though, he would know, I'm sure.
Sure kept it quiet last meeting. New
Mhm.
business.
New business, I have the salary resolution for you guys to sign.
What, did you send us a copy?
I haven't sent you a copy of that, it's the same like we do every year, it's a 4% increase for everybody.
good.
4%.
Yeah, that's what the state allows us to do, is 4%, so, I mean, we could do less. 4% really isn't that much if you really think about it, but, but that's what they go up to, that's what's already been budgeted to.
I guess I'll make a motion to approve the salary resolution. Tyler seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry to snatch that again.
You're good.
Thought we'd get a copy of that somewhere. I could not find it, but here's a good one. I guess the terms for the lease in the building.
Okay, so I did send this guys
Yes,
to you, and, so here's my thinking. And I discussed this with Carmen as well, and I actually tried to call this guy last week. So here's the progress of what happened. August, they contacted us, cause technically our lease is up in October, cause we signed it in October 2019, so it goes from October to October. So he contacted us in August, said, hey, your lease is coming up due, for renewal again, do you wanna go ahead and, usually we just renew it, it's the same terms, it's the same $400 a month, nothing changes. And so in August, we replied back and said, yes, we'd like to just go ahead and renew the terms and we'll stay, with what we're at. And I said, if there's anything we need to sign, that we need to send over, that's fine, but usually the email is good enough as far as written notice goes, that's what we're doing. Then come November, he emails back and says, apologies for the delayed response, and for one, I didn't really know I was gonna get a response, and two, I'm like, it's been like, 2 months now, 3 months. And this is kind of what he was proposing. Now, I tried to call him last week, and I left him a long voicemail letting him know that this has got to be discussed, because there's things in here that Carmen and I were discussing it, and for one, they're asking for a 5-year term. I don't think that's realistic when a trustee's term is only 4 years anyway, and the last year for this term is next year. So then it starts another 4-year term. It's, I don't think he would just want to do that and then lock somebody else in. I mean, God forbid Carmen's not here for the next term, but if somebody does happen to get in, I mean, they're already locked in for that 4 years and can't do anything about it, so I don't think that's very fair to ask. And then this $496 per square foot our rent's only $400 a month. I don't know why it says $411, because we've only ever paid $400 a month, so I don't know why it's got the cents on there. But this, like the increase, the 3% increase year over year to the square footage, the price of the square footage is gonna go up 3%, not the rent, but the price of the square footage, which makes it more than if you were just to increase the rent by 3%, it wouldn't be that much, but you're increasing the square footage, the amount of money per square footage, making that 3%, and then timing that by 968, and then that's how you get up to this amount. So by the time we're at year 5, we're almost at $600 a month for rent.
Yeah, because see, he's charging you $4, and that's how he's doing. He's charging you $4.96 per square foot right now. That's why he's keeping it your constant. So it's $4.96 per square foot. It's 960 per foot. But what he's going to do is give you that next year, but then the following year, just bump your base. Right. The base for 968 to $6.70, and he'll start. That's his minimum. Instead of being a $4.96.
And I totally understand. I told him in my email today. I understand that a price increase is probably expected with the price of utilities going up and things. It's expected. However, I don't think paying up to almost $600 for this space when we're only here 3 days a week for 5 hours a day. Plus, I also mentioned there are several maintenance issues that have been ignored month after month and year after year that have not been taken care of. Every winter, this roof leaks, and we have a roof leak. And there are several brown tiles around this office that have not been replaced, and we have told them, we had a leak last winter at the door. It was coming all the way down our door and through the front there, and they never did anything about it.
You know how many square footage we got here?
It's supposed to be 968.
968.
Yeah. So, I've never measured it myself to know if that's completely accurate. I mean, we had to paint when we came in here because it was that god-awful yellow. The bathroom, the lights have been broken in the bathroom for I don't know how long. The faucet knob comes off when you try to use it.
So maintenance hasn't been the best.
No, the elevator, every day you come in, you're thinking, is it going to work today?
Yeah,
because that elevator's scary.
It likes to hesitate.
It does. It is, and it breaks down quite often. So my feeling is if we're going to increase the rent that much, then maybe some maintenance things needs to happen in order to justify it. Yes. Yeah. So then I emailed him all that today. Of course, I got his out of office reply that he's out he won't be back till December 1st. So, but
when do they want a decision?
They didn't say.
They didn't say.
And I already told him, I said, we've already agreed to next year, because that was already in writing in August. When you proposed August, you said, renew same terms in August, and that's what we agreed to, and that is what we're going to do. We're going to honor what we said in August, and I believe they will as well, but we need to negotiate the other 4 years here you're wanting to do.
And I would do that, and at the same time look for other spaces.
I feel we have some leverage, because I don't know of any other business that's knocking down the door wanting to rent the space out. And this space was empty for a long time before we took it over. So it's, to me, I think it's lost revenue if we were to go somewhere else. And we have that option, of course, we can try to find somewhere else to go. I don't know if we'd have as much, you know, space like we have here somewhere else, or, you know,
Right.
but
$400 is probably pretty cheap.
$400, I feel it was pretty cheap too. I felt too but then when you take into account they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Either. I mean, they only have someone even clean the bathroom 2 days a week, so, and it cleans the
If I were
area and
them, I'd
stuff.
just be happy to keep a tenant in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So are you and Carmen gonna try to do some talking with us?
Yeah, like I said, I called him last week, left a message. I've emailed him today. He's out till December 1st, so I'll see if I get a reply next week, and then we'll just go from there. It's a guy, and from his voicemail, I can tell he's probably Indian.
Yeah, you can tell by the name.
Well, yeah.
The spelling, I couldn't,
Vida
Yeah.
Kovic.
but I'm
Vida
sure, you know,
Kovic.
it's in worst case, if you talk them down to $6 a square foot instead of $6.70.
I mean, I feel there's room for negotiation, for sure. So, well, I'll just let you guys know how that goes and
Yeah,
what we're.
we'll let,
I did have one other thing I wanted to bring to your guys' attention. I got this email from People's Bank, and remember we had negotiated our APY with our account.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Federal Reserve cut interest rates in September and October, so for a total of a 0.5, it's 50% decrease, 0.5 decrease. So
Back down to 3.
So we're back down to 3 again for interest.
we'll just keep watching.
Yeah. I'm glad they let us know.
Yeah.
Communication is key, I would say.
Yep. It's out of their hands.
Yeah, for sure. It is out of their hands, and that's gonna be, you know, at every bank, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, we've heard some pretty, so I was talking with a lady at Aurora Evansville today, cause we work with them, for eviction assistance, because, some clients, if they've already hit an eviction, if they've already been filed on eviction, we're pretty much out because we can't pay court costs and late fees, and if they're going through an eviction, they want all of that on top of just the rent and stuff. So normally I do a referral to Aurora of Evansville, which you can only do a referral, it has to come, they can't just call them themselves, somebody has to refer them. And I did a referral today, and she called me today, and she said, one, they're out of money, and two, the TANF grant that they normally get is like 200-something thousand, and it's only gonna be 20,000 now because of all the
Straight up.
federal cuts and shutdowns and everything else that's going on, so.
People are gonna have to tighten up. I mean, it's crazy. Cause we
For
ain't gonna have
sure.
the money. Federal government ain't gonna have the money.
No, things are getting very, very tight, yeah, scary tight.
Looking forward to living at 63 degrees instead of 68 degrees.
I know, I saw a Centerpoint commercial yesterday, and they were like, oh, just turn your thermostat down to 65 degrees, and I'm like, that's not,
Already did it.
that's not,
Yeah.
that's really not a
Feel like-
solution.
Dang it, I gotta go to 60.
I know, and like, just keep going it. My neighbor, when, God bless her, when she was living next door to us, she used to, and she got pneumonia because of this. She had kept her thermostat like at 55 degrees, because she just, you know, she lives by herself, it's a big house, and she didn't want to pay. She was retired, you know, and stuff, and she ended up with pneumonia. Her son had to come carry her out of the house and take her to the hospital, and she was in the hospital for weeks. So, that's not the solution. It really isn't.
Old business.
I didn't know of any old business that I could think of.
We just need to approve the September and October bank.
Yes, you got
reports.
that.
So, I mean, I know
Oh, shoot. I forgot to make the, can you wait 5 minutes and
Yeah.
I'll make your sign sheet?
we'll
Okay.
be able to print a sign-up sheet less than 5 minutes.
I can do it.
We skip December meetings.
I think we will this year.
Okay.
I mean, unless there's something pressing that they can't figure out, and then we can just do an impromptu. But
That's fine.
usually, yeah, December.
Yeah.
There's too much going on with everything and
Okay.
potential for the weather that,
We ever talk over the website?
Oopsies, that's not what I wanted.
I don't remember us
Oh, no,
finishing
yeah.
that, and that's what I had to bring up, if we wanted to still continue those conversations.
What is happening?
I think last time
and
we
I'm
spoke,
thinking we're getting to the point with all these forms and stuff that they can print at home, and if they're on our website or links to them, that we might as well join the 21st century and just have them. Facebook is good, but it's not cutting it if you could tie all of them together in one platform, and the price of it was, what was the price of that?
3,000 initial, right? Somewhere around 3,000 initial, and that's the back of.
I know, I
guess
gotta find
email.
Alright, we're just gonna do it this way.
What world is that?
On the previous minutes, yeah.
Yeah, because we talked about, we tabled it last meeting.
The website for initial fee of $2,200 and $325 to maintain it yearly. My thing is we have the funds, and is that the best way to spend it?
I honestly, getting to the point where I think it's the best way with the new things and all the help chains they can put on there, and
Yeah.
because I mean, like you said, we're open 3 days a week, 5 hours a day. It gives people a lifeline. She can post, you know, emergency lifelines on there if they can't get a hold of us. I think $325 to maintain it is dirt cheap a year, and $2,200 to build it is probably not that bad. Yeah, that's a good thing. I forgot about that.
First one, maybe.
I couldn't find my pre-made one. I got a new computer last week, and it was kind of a mess because the other one was so old that it would not transfer over, so we had to do this other thing where we just made another file and stuff, and yeah, but now I'm having a hard time finding a few things.
You're okay. Dave has 7 minutes.
7 minutes, okay. I got you, Dave.
Hate to
We
put you on a time
told him we'd
schedule.
get him here at 4:45. He's got a surveyor caucus to go to.
Yeah,
So,
Five? I think it's 5. Isn't it?
yeah.
I'm gonna miss that.
there's October. And you guys all got these already.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a motion to approve. Well, let's do September first.
Second.
That one's October.
Okay.
Let me get you on September here.
So I made a motion and David seconded September. All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve October planning reports. Tyler seconds. All in favor? Both those passed.
September.
You sign them.
Yeah, just sign anywhere. September. Well, we really worked up to the last minute today too, so.
We have, one more thing. We wanna talk about the website real quick.
Okay,
So I think we're kinda ready to entertain that and to give it a whirl.
Okay,
mean,
and I
think-
do want, I want Robert with Geotech to come, maybe come meet with you guys and at one of our meetings or whatever, just so you guys can get a feel better of like what it's gonna offer and things like that, if you guys would be open to that.
Cause we figured with all the new stuff coming, you can put a lot of help chains on that website and
Mm-hmm.
be able to help people while we're even not in the office with
Yeah,
different organizations and different contacts.
yeah, I mean, we have some things on our Facebook, but not everybody has Facebook, and Facebook doesn't always work as well as I hope it would or like it to, so. A website might be easier for other people to get to, and
Also the library, log on.
Yeah. yeah. And if I remember right, let me get the quote here.
Yeah, cause it was 2,200 initial and like Tyler found $325 a year to maintain.
He wants to come January.
I think this is it here. Yeah, so it's a one-time,
2,200.
yeah, it's one-time billing of $2,200, or you can bill that out monthly. But it'd be $2,200 initially, and then it's $325 a year to keep it going, to keep the hosting up and stuff. And then, like I said before, that would have we can put, other resources on there and places where, other places that people can go for help. We can keep
All
our,
kinds of links you can put on.
oh
the
yeah, put all
website,
kinds
so.
of links on there, job listings if we want. Of course, any Facebook posts we make can be posted on there as well. And then we can keep our applications on there and stuff. I could go ahead and put the link to how to apply online and stuff. We could put that on there. All of our document checklist, all that stuff that says what you have to bring, our letter, all that stuff that, of course, how to get a hold of us and our address and things like that. But I don't know. I think you could argue either way. I think as far as the need for it. I think in some ways maybe it's not as necessary because maybe before we didn't do so many, but now we're doing a lot more households, so could be more necessary. But then also, again, with technology, everybody doing everything online and stuff, I mean, yeah.
And like you said, you're in the office 3 days a week, 5 hours a day. And this
Yeah.
is 7 days a week. They can go on the website.
And Fridays
find-
we are open, I work from home on Fridays and I answer phone calls, and I have a computer at home, so I can get on my computer at home and get the things that I need. And we also come into the office on Fridays if we need to. Like if we have a client that the Friday's the only day they can come in, well then we'll come in on Fridays, And then like this week we worked Monday because we were gonna be out the rest of the week, so we went ahead and worked Monday and stuff too, which I was so glad, because we did have a client show up on Monday that I don't even know if they knew we were open or not, but we happened to be open Monday, and it was a client that we've been trying to get a hold of for a while, because we've been hearing from other people that they were needing help, and we were really trying to get a hold of them, and they came in Monday, thankfully, so I was like, oh, I'm so glad we were here.
Well, if you can get a hold of him in a January meeting, because
Okay.
we'll have a December meeting.
Okay,
So,
but we will have one first thing in January, so.
and what's a
Yeah.
good time in January for everybody?
Let me check your calendar, because you have to have it the third
Yeah, I think it's like the third week.
Tuesday, or,
Yeah, it's something weird. So this one, if we make it, nobody can back out. I mean, we have to have a meeting.
Right.
Something has to be approved by that date. Where's my calendar at? There it is. I'm good anytime, January. So it'd be the 19th would be the third, or the 20th would be the third Tuesday.
20th.
I think so. She's double checking
Okay.
her dates.
see.
She has a minute. Very quick.
see, airport's the third Tuesday of the first Monday, so then it would be it's the third Tuesday after the first Monday.
Third Tuesday, the first Monday in January?
Yeah, the third Tuesday after the first Monday.
Well, the first Monday's the 5th, so it has to be done by the 26th. So if we pick the 20th,
And you can do it before that.
let's do the 20th then, if that works for everybody.
20th.
Okay.
So January 20th at 4:15.
January 20th. And then we'll do the whole, pick a president, pick a secretary.
Yep.
Do the board of
Stuff.
finance.
Yeah.
Do all that same stuff like we do.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Look,
Thanks,
that's
guys. I
that's full
appreciate
You're
45 days.
welcome.
Hey, good luck with your.
We'll see what happens tonight.
Yes, sir.